What is up, guys? Welcome back to S3M2 Football and welcome to today's football preview video. Our action for today's video takes us all the way to North London for a massive fixture that is kicking off in this weekend's English Premier League. So please join me as I talk a little bit about the fixture that is kicking off this Saturday on the 8th of November at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. For this one, Tottenham Hotspur host Manchester United. We start off today's video here with the home side being the Lily Whites. Now the last 5 fixtures for Spurs have ended in 2 wins, 2 losses and then 1 draw. Spurs' last match was an impressive midweek victory over Copenhagen in a Champions League fixture that saw the Lily Whites run out as 4-0 victors. Spurs do have that habit of commanding respect with some very fluid football at times. The first player that I have to talk about for Spurs has got to be Brazilian centre-forward Richarlison. In 17 appearances, Richarlison has 3 goals and 2 assists, and I think we'll see him operating as the roaming centre-forward for Tottenham Hotspur. Richarlison is quick, he is strong, and those are all of the qualities you need in a player who's looking to lead the attacking line. In the heart of midfield for Spurs, I want to talk about Senegalese central midfielder Pape Matar Sarr. In 15 appearances, Matar Sarr has 2 goals and 2 assists, and I think he'll be playing as a box-to-box midfielder for Spurs. He brings a lot of energy and aggression to the midfield for this team, and I think that just allows Spurs to control the central areas of the pitch. In the back line for the Lily Whites, I want to talk about Spanish right back Pedro Porro. In 17 appearances, Pedro Porro has 3 assists, and I think he'll be playing as a fullback from that right back position for the Lily Whites. He has tons of pace, tons of creativity, and he is the kind of fullback who's always looking to support the attack. Tactically for Tottenham Hotspur, coach Thomas Frank wants his team to counter often and at high pace. To that end, we have seen the Lily Whites lining up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. This allows the fullbacks to just rush forward in order to dominate the wings and then stretch the opposition backline. Any space out wide that you leave against Tottenham Hotspur will be punished. Okay, now on to the away team. For Manchester United, the last 5 fixtures for the Red Devils have ended in 3 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. Manchester United's last match was a disappointing 2-2 draw away at Nottingham Forest in the Premier League last weekend. But this team is looking a lot better, but they still look a bit misshapen at times. The first player I have to talk about for United has got to be Cameroonian right winger Bryan Mbeumo. In 11 appearances, Mbeumo has 5 goals and 1 assist, and he plays as an inverted winger on that right wing for Manchester United. Mbeumo is powerful, he is direct, and he has a very no-nonsense attacking approach to the game. In the heart of midfield for United, I want to talk about Brazilian defensive midfielder Casemiro. In 9 appearances, Casemiro has 3 goals and 1 assist, and I think he'll be playing as the anchor in midfield for Manchester United. Casemiro brings a lot of aggression and physicality to the midfield for Manchester United, and I think as a result, he provides a lot of solidity to the central areas for this team. Defensively for the Red Devils, I want to talk about Dutch centre-back Matthijs de Ligt. In 11 appearances, de Ligt has yet to score or assist, but he is the defensive rock for the Red Devils. Matthijs de Ligt is intelligent, he is athletic, and he is a very reliable centre-back who doesn't really make too many mistakes. Tactically for Manchester United, coach Ruben Amorim will want his team to counter-attack with power and precision through the centre. To that end, we have seen Manchester United lining up in a 3-4-2-1 formation most of the time this season. The Red Devils are a team that likes to tear through the centre by flooding those areas with as many players as possible, and then just bombing forward all together as a unit and overwhelming the opposition defenders. Okay, on to the head-to-head and our S3M2 verdict. Now, the last five fixtures between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United have ended in 4 wins for Spurs and then one draw between the two teams. This has been a pretty disastrous fixture for Manchester United lately, especially that 1-0 loss in last season's Europa League. In terms of goal output in those last five fixtures, Tottenham Hotspur have scored 11 goals, while Manchester United have hit the back of the net 5 times. Spurs are looking very commanding in this fixture, and both teams are actually looking pretty decent in terms of goal output coming into this one as well. I think, though, the main deciding factor here is that Spurs have been slightly more solid in the defensive areas as well. In terms of the Premier League table right now, Tottenham Hotspur are 6th, while Manchester United are 8th. But both teams are equal on 17 points. So this provides both sides with an opportunity to leapfrog their opposition on the day. In terms of injuries, though, Tottenham will have to do without Dominic Solanke, Dejan Kulusevski, Radu Dragusin, and James Maddison, while Manchester United only have to be concerned with the absence of centre-back Lissandro Martinez. I think that tells us that injuries have made life very miserable for Tottenham Hotspur this season, while Manchester United are making the most of a far less congested fixture schedule thanks to the absence of European football this season at Old Trafford. Spurs have lost a few games at home already this season, and I think that tells us that the Lily Whites can be very shaky at their own home ground as well. This will be a frantic game of football with both sides looking to score early and draw each other out into making more mistakes throughout the course of the game. That then gives them the opportunity to make the most of their counter-attacking style and then just hit the opposition on the break. I think the deciding factor for me here is that Manchester United have actually been very poor away from home this season. The Red Devils have won only one fixture away from Old Trafford, and that was that win at Anfield against Liverpool earlier this campaign. I think, though, I don't see them repeating that feat against Tottenham Hotspur. I think that was United just taking advantage of a Liverpool that looked very demoralized and depleted at the time. And right now, Spurs, on the other hand, are now just boosted by the return of defenders like Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogie, and then Christian Romero at centre back as well. So Spurs will be even harder to break down, and I think that is how they'll just sort of mount their attacks as well, just remaining solid at the back and then counter-attacking Manchester United, putting the pressure on the Red Devils to perform and then just making things even harder for them in those wider areas of the pitch. My score prediction for this one is going to be Tottenham Hotspur 2, Manchester United 1.